Have you ever looked at someone and thought, how does that person keep going? How do they carry everything life throws at them and still show up, still smile, still push forward? You assumed it was because they were stronger than you, more disciplined, built differently, maybe even just luckier. But what if that was the first lie they told you about strength? Because here is the truth nobody put in the motivational posters. Nobody built a course around it. Nobody went viral talking about it. Real strength has been misrepresented for so long that most people are exhausting themselves chasing a version of it that was never real to begin with. And today, we are going to change that. Let us start at the beginning. From the time you were a child, strength was defined for you before you ever had a chance to define it yourself. Be tough. Do not cry. Push through the pain. Never let them see you struggle. Get up. Keep moving. Do not stop. Those phrases sound familiar, do they not? They were repeated by coaches, parents, teachers, and culture itself. And they were not always wrong. There is real value in resilience. There is real power in persistence. But somewhere along the way, something got twisted. Strength stopped being a tool and became a performance. Instead of strength serving you, you started serving the idea of strength. And that is where the exhaustion began. Think about the last time you were genuinely struggling. Maybe it was a personal loss. Maybe it was financial pressure. Maybe it was a relationship falling apart, or a dream that was not working out the way you planned. What was your first instinct? For most people, it was to hide it, to push through, to act like everything was fine, to not burden anyone, to appear strong. And in doing that, you were following the rule book that society handed you. But here is what nobody told you about that rule book. It was never written for your benefit. It was written to keep you productive, to keep you functional, to keep you showing up, to keep the machine running. Because a person who processes pain, who rests, who asks for help, who sets limits, who says no, that person is harder to control, harder to exploit, harder to keep in line. So they sold you a version of strength that kept you tired, kept you quiet, and kept you from ever discovering how powerful you actually are. Now let us talk about what real strength actually looks like. Real strength is not the absence of pain. It is the willingness to feel it fully and still choose your next step. Real strength is not pretending everything is fine. It is being honest about where you are while refusing to be permanently defined by it. Real strength is not carrying everything alone. It is knowing which burdens are yours and which ones you were handed by people who never planned to take them back. There is a concept in Japanese culture called kintsugi. It is the art of repairing broken pottery with gold. The philosophy behind it is profound. The breakage is not hidden, it is highlighted. The cracks become the most beautiful part of the piece. That is what real strength looks like in a human being. Not someone who never cracked, but someone whose cracks tell a story of survival, of healing, of choosing to become more beautiful because of what broke them rather than in spite of it. Let us talk about the body for a moment. because strength in the physical sense has also been misrepresented in ways that have cost people deeply. The fitness industry told you that more is always better. More weight, more reps, more hours, more intensity, no days off, no excuses, no pain, no gain. And yes, progressive overload is real. Discipline matters. Consistency builds results. But here is what the industry quietly left out. The muscle does not grow during the workout. It grows during the rest. You do not get stronger from the strain alone. You get stronger from the combination of the strain and the recovery. This means that every time you skip rest because you think resting is weakness, you are literally working against your own progress. The rest is not the reward for the work. The rest is part of the work. And this principle does not just apply to the gym. It applies to your career, your relationships, your mental health, your creativity. The pause is productive. The stillness is strategic. The silence is strength. Now, I want to address something that most people never talk about: emotional strength. We live in a world that rewards emotional suppression and calls it maturity. We applaud the person who does not flinch. We admire the one who never cries in public. We promote the person who seems unbothered. But suppression is not strength. It is delay. Whatever you do not process today will find you tomorrow. It will find you in your reactions, in your relationships, in your health, in your patterns. The emotionally strong person is not the one who feels nothing. It is the one who has learned to feel everything without being destroyed by it. That takes more courage than anything else on this list. To sit with grief and not run from it. To feel anger and choose your response. To experience fear and act anyway. To love deeply, knowing it comes with the risk of loss. That is elite-level human strength, and it is almost never talked about. Let us talk about the strength of saying no. There is an entire generation of people who were taught that being needed is the same as being valued, that being busy means being important, that sacrifice without limit is the highest form of love and loyalty. So they said yes to everything. They overcommitted. They overextended. They gave from empty cups and called it strength. But here is the reality. Every time you say yes to something that is not aligned with your values, your energy, your capacity, or your purpose, you are saying no to something that matters. The person who cannot say no does not have strong boundaries. They have no borders at all. And a life without borders is not freedom. It is chaos with a smile on it. Saying no is one of the most powerful complete sentences in the human language. No, I cannot take that on right now. No, that does not work for me. No, I deserve better than that. Those sentences take more strength to say than almost anything else. And the more you practice them, the more you reclaim your own life. Here is another thing they hid from you. Asking for help is not weakness. It is one of the most sophisticated forms of strength that exists. Think about it this way. The strongest structures in architecture are not the ones built to stand alone. They are the ones designed with support systems, with frameworks, with reinforcement. No bridge was ever built by one person. No skyscraper was ever raised in isolation. And yet we expect human beings, the most complex structures in the known universe to somehow carry everything alone and call it strength. The person who asks for help understands something that the isolated person does not. They understand that strength is not a solo performance. It is a collaborative construction. The mentor who changed your life did not weaken you by helping you. They strengthened you. The friend who listened at 2 in the morning did not make you dependent. They gave you what you needed to keep going. Asking for help is how strong people get stronger. It is not a detour from the path. It is part of it. We are near the end of this conversation, and I want to leave you with something you can carry forward. The strength you have been looking for is not out there. It is not in the next program, the next book, the next challenge, the next milestone. It is already inside you, forged from every hard thing you have already survived. Every time life knocked you down and you got back up, even slowly, even reluctantly, even with help, that was strength. Every time you chose to keep going when every part of you wanted to quit, that was strength. Every time you were honest when lying would have been easier. Every time you were kind when bitterness was available. Every time you chose to heal instead of just cope, that was strength. Every single time. So here is what I want you to take away from this. Stop performing strength for people who were never going to appreciate the real you anyway. Start practicing the kind of strength that actually builds something. The strength of rest. The strength of honesty. The strength of boundaries. The strength of asking for help. The strength of feeling deeply. The strength of choosing yourself without apology. That is the strength they never taught you. That is the strength they hoped you would never find. And now you know. So go build something unbreakable.